that and even scale back operations in some areas.
Jess, thank you so much for that. Jessica Parker there. And we can speak now to Michal Baranowski, Eastern Regional Director of GMF, a think tank. Thank you very much for coming on the programme.
Great to be with you.
So you watched President Zelensky up on stage there taking questions. What was your assessment of it?
Confident war leader, determined to continue the fight until Ukraine's victory. Leader that is speaking directly to the people, both to his people in Ukraine, but also to the audiences in the West. This is a way that President Zelensky has done it from the very beginning of the war, where he aims to sway the Western public opinion to make sure that the politicians, the leaders of the West, do the right thing, which is, in this case, continue to provide the necessary military aid to Ukraine also next year.
Well, we will come on to next year. Let's look at this year, because this is a kind of end-of-year news conference. Let's compare the situation that he is in, that the country is in, from the beginning of the year. How would you assess it?
Well, we focus so much on the counteroffensive that has not delivered to the extent that all of us hope to. We all hope that the counteroffensive from last year around the Kharkiv region can be repeated, and that Ukraine will push out Russian forces, at least in the southern direction. But Zelensky made a point that speaks to me, and it's true, that Russia also has not made any gains. So when we look at the balance, the line, fortunately and unfortunately, has not moved much over the course of the year, which again points to the importance of the next year's fight.
Okay, let's come on to 2024 then. What are the priorities as you see them?
Well, this is where what we are seeing a danger of, and that's something that Western intelligence agencies have reported on. It's something that Biden's administration is addressing when speaking to Congress, is that if Ukraine is not given the military aid that has been promised, that has been programmed for it, we might see Russian forces actually go into an offensive. And that's the key danger of perhaps mid next year, where it's not going to be, if Ukraine does not get the aid, it's not going to be a stalemate, as some describe the current war, but it might be a situation in which we see the counteroffensive changing into a defensive position of the Ukrainian forces.
So a counteroffensive changing into a defensive position doesn't sound particularly ambitious or optimistic.
That's the danger. But this is where the rubber hits the road, that it's so many, to such large extent, it's not up to Zelensky and the Ukrainian people who are willing to fight, and him talking about drafting another 500,000 people in a country that is so strained with the war shows the commitment. This is up to the West to deliver on the military aid and prevent that scenario from taking place. So it's really up to us, if I can speak from Warsaw perspective, to Brussels, London, Washington, to give Ukrainians what they need for this negative scenario, pessimistic scenario, not to take place next year.
Michal Baranowski, thank you very much for coming on the programme. Thank you.
Great to be with you.